Hello. In this video, we're going to be talking about my opinions on AI and how it's affected, artists, people who use AI, people who don't use AI, all these different topics. First, I'd like to start out with a post. Accused someone of using AI art, and I was wrong. I feel pretty terrible about it. I had good intentions, and it really looked like AI to me. There was a finger that was very wrong and a couple of other things. I thought being an artist would help in determining if something is artificial, but instead I've just developed an eye for error, leading to false conclusions. After speaking with them and doing more research into their work, I realized I was incorrect in my accusation and retracted it by editing my comment, apologizing, and wishing them well. At first, naturally, they were defensive and displeased at my accusation, but after realizing my intentions, they accepted my apology. Going forward now, I don't want to falsely accuse anyone else, and it's getting really hard to tell what's a stylistic choice/mistake and what's AI. If someone accused you, would you take it poorly? Should I keep my comments to myself? This just shows that people cannot tell AI art apart from real art. And here's another example of that. Proof for the stupid mods that my render is not AI slop. I never knew this about myself, but I hate it when people think my hard work is just stupid AI slop. My original post got taken down because the moderators thought that this is AI. It's not. Next time, before taking down someone's art, look closely. I'm sorry if I came across as mean, I'm just angry. Here's some other examples. I'm not going to read them, but I think you're starting to get the point. People can't really tell what's AI and what's not anymore. And that leads me to another thing. Is AI art really slop if you can't tell it apart from real art? And if you call real art slop, does that mean you're just saying the artist's work is bad? Because if AI slop is garbage, and you're accusing an artist's work of being garbage, then in that case, it must be garbage to you. When it comes to being open about AI usage, I am open about AI usage as much as I can be. However, when it comes to AI usage and art, I believe artists should just not witch hunt real artists, even if they think their art is AI, because it doesn't harm anyone. As long as they're not trying to get people to pay for it, if it's just a Twitter account posting art, why do you need to say this and that and this, and bully someone off of the internet just because you thought their art was AI, but then it turns out, no, their art's real, and you're freaking out over pixels on a screen. It's harming no one. And yes, if you bring up, well, people are losing their jobs, well, it's harming the environment. I have two rebuttals for that. Firstly, this person isn't trying to make people lose their jobs, especially if they're just posting art on the internet, no commissions, no nothing. They're not saying, use AI, don't hire an artist. Your criticism is of capitalism and big corporations, not of small people just using AI for fun. Big corporations do layoffs because of any reason. They fire people just because they feel like it, essentially. Oh, you're cutting into our profits because we don't want to pay you anymore. We're losing money, but we still have $1 trillion that we need. And that's not any AI user's fault that greedy companies want to fire hardworking individuals who have a lot of skill, a lot of talent, and a lot of patience. A lot of people say that AI is bad for the environment due to water usage. They're somewhat true. AI does use water, but so does social media, so does crops, and so does even the production of one burger. This study from the Environmental and Energy Study Institute. Data Centers and Water Consumption by Miguel. I'm not going to pronounce the rest of that because I don't want to butcher it. June 15th, 2025. Highlights. Data center developers are increasingly tapping into freshwater resources to quench the thirst of data centers, which is putting nearby communities at risk. Large data centers consume up to 5 million gallons per day, equivalent to the use of water in a town populated by 10,000 people, 50,000 people. With larger and new AI-focused data centers, water consumption is increasing alongside energy usage and carbon emissions. Novel technologies like direct-to-chip cooling and immersion cooling, which could reduce water and energy usage by data centers. Now, if we look at this graph here, this is my rebuttal to the AI usage thing. Firstly, AI models could be ran locally on your computer for little to no consumption of power. Also, they don't require a powerful computer. You could use a cheap laptop or even a non-gaming PC to generate images and videos. You don't need to connect to the cloud. You hear about these big AI tech companies all the time, like OpenAI, Google's Gemini, and such, because obviously they're the biggest players in the game. But there's other models that could be downloaded for free on your computer, and you don't need to connect to the internet at all to use them. And my second part of my rebuttal is water consumed using ChatGPT and other activities. This is a graph provided by the sources at the bottom left and the sources at the bottom right. The graph shows the comparison between ChatGPT queries compared to 1 hour of TV in a US home compared to the water consumption of making one hamburger. The graph on the right shows the consumption of water by ChatGPT globally in one day versus leaking pipes in just the United States of America in one day. The United States Department of Agriculture, growing crops and saving water in the West. In this article, they say corn plants on 1 acre of land need to consume about 600,000 gallons of water from irrigation and rain to produce 200, I don't know how to pronounce that, bushels of corn. Now let's go over to some ridiculous claims made by anti-AI people. Do people even know how to use resources anymore? Or do they just leave everything to AI? Why is Wikipedia still a thing? Doesn't ChatGPT just render it completely irrelevant? You're the people in the floaty chairs at the start of Wall-E. I don't care if it's untrustworthy. Better human misinformation than AI misinformation. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing voices, sorry. Wikipedia is very trustworthy. Incorrect information gets pulverized in seconds. Of course, stuff like UniWork and work, it's much better to look up your own stuff, but I'd trust Wikipedia more about what mushrooms I could eat versus ChatGPT, which these people are just lying, essentially. They're just saying it to hate on AI. Wikipedia has never been a 100% reliable place. People lie there all the time, and anyone could edit nearly any page unless it's locked. And especially with people like this last comment says, people who are political leaders and many people who are alive could also have their pages edited to look bad or good. And it happens very often. Wikipedia is just simply not a reliable source or a thing to just read off outright. And this first comment is very ignorant. I don't care if it's untrustworthy. Better human misinformation. Why does it matter? Misinfo is still bad. That's like, oh yeah, it's good I got my right arm cut off because I'm left-handed. You still got your arm cut off. What are you talking about? I'm very much sure that you could search, oh, Wikipedia misinformation scandal or Wikipedia hoax, and you'll find many, many, many examples. Or, something that's really hilarious is if you search, is Wikipedia a reliable source? Wikipedia has an article called something along the lines of, is Wikipedia a reliable source? Oh, sure, let's fact check myself and say that I'm reliable. I didn't read it, but, that's like saying you know what I mean? That's like asking someone, oh, are you a cool person? And then they say, yeah, I'm a cool person. According to what? Anti-AI people also like to praise violence. Here, let's look at an article. Shots were fired from a car towards Sam Altman's house. Early Sunday morning, a car stopped and appears to have fired a gun at the Russian Hill home of OpenAI CEO, according to police. Many people get shot in their homes in poor neighborhoods. I'm supposed to care if it happens to a billionaire? He's got money. I'm sure he could fix the problem himself. It's really his fault anyway. He's bringing the quality of the neighborhood down. It's always the same kind of people. He should probably stop threatening to cause the apocalypse. Probably why billionaires are getting bunkers. They're raising hell. Enrique! So not only do anti-AI people praise violence against people they don't like, they also dehumanize people they don't like. Here's a little post right here. Frankly, if a poster can't be bothered to write their own content, I can't be bothered to read it. If I feel like something's AI, I discard it and go about my day. The worst part is I don't understand how people can look at something generated by an LLM and think, I made this. I pasted a brainstorming blurb, 750 words, into ChatGPT a while back to see if it could give some structure. And the very first thing it did was start making up things that were not my original text. Like, what the fuck? They used an LLM. They're barely sentient, much less sapient, which, if you know the word homo sapient, they're trying to say they're not human. And this is just wrong. It doesn't matter if you disagree. It doesn't matter. people, like I said earlier, these people aren't taking your job. It's those greedy corporations who would have fired you anyway if they found a cheap way to do it, even if AI didn't exist. If they found a guy who would take minimum wage in your place, they would hire him. Here, let's look at another post from Reddit. This time, it's by a person I'll just call 1010 because I'm not going to say their full username, it's kind of long. My friend is accusing this of being AI. I told him it's way too consistent. Then they made an AI remake of this image and told me if I could make it look like this, so can some fake artist. Is this AI? Stop spamming comments about how bad oh god, I'm fucking reading horrible. Stop spamming comments about how the art is bad. This subreddit is for telling if an image is AI or not. Not to call someone's art bad because they are new. I don't think it's AI. I think it's just a less experienced artist. Is this our AI? The way her leg is up and her right hand does not sit well, and I saw this posted on an AI forum. Look, I am not 100% sure, but I saw this posted on AI forums and that's why I'm here asking. It's hard to believe this was AI made if it was. As an artist, this just looks like stylistic choices and anime anatomy to me. It's sad if it is AI, but I strongly feel it's not because it looks very drawn. Nothing screams AI. No, it is real, not AI generated, though there is a possibility it could be traced from an AI image, but this is real hand-drawn artwork. Well, that's a shitty example, but you know what I mean. There's so many cases of this. Sonic, for example. Sure, it's a bad drawing that got popular. It's not because people supported it, it's that they thought the drawing was shitty and funny looking. When will people get that most people care about looks and value things based on looks? You know what I mean? Like, sorry, my voice sounds strained and shit, but you get what I mean. Anyways, that's all for this video. I'm probably going to make a follow-up because I've been thinking about this video for a while, and I just want to add more onto it if possible, because I'm not sure I probably made a mistake here or there, or didn't make a good point in some parts. So I'm going to be doing more research at some point, possibly getting more evidence. Well, that's an edgy way to put it, but I don't know. I guess receipts is the way people my age say it now. And then I'm going to probably make a second video. But we'll see how this one does. I already know comments are going to come flooding in. Not that it matters, but whatever. That's all.